Welcome, everyone. We're closing out our Foglight Skills 101 three-part series with the big finale, building custom dashboards for your extended topology. If you've ever wrestled with picking the right metrics, figuring out which visualization tells the clearest story, or keeping dashboards current and shareable, today's your chance to master it all. And who better to guide us than Dashboard Pro Clay Jackson? He'll walk you through how to build, update, and publish dashboards that actually drive insight. Let's get started. Clay, the stage is yours.
Thanks, Jessica, and welcome. We're going to be talking about Foglight today, and specifically about building custom dashboards. This is the third part of a three-part series. You remember in the first couple of parts, and we'll go over some review of that, we built some additional agents to get data into Foglight and make Foglight your own with data that you happen to need that don't necessarily have a Foglight out of the box. And today we're going to take a look at how you can turn that data into actionable insights and make it available so you can use it to understand more about your environment and take any actions you might need to take. A little bit about me, senior pre-sales engineer, been here at Quest for 13 years. I've been playing around in computing a lot longer than that. I've got a master's in software engineering and spent 25 years as a DBA and a DBA manager in a lot of different corporations in and around the Seattle area. And there's my LinkedIn thing there. And I've also contributed to a number of open source projects at one time or another. So let's get on with it. So here's our agenda for today. We've done the welcome introduction. Talk about why custom dashboards matter. I'll show you some use case examples and refresh our memory on exactly what we're trying to do, and then do an actual demo of building a few dashboards. I'll show you the dashboards, and then we'll go back and build them. So let's go on with the use case examples and refresh you for what's going on here. Here's our Foglight, my own environment here at home, and you see right now I've got some services up. I'll show you how to build that dashboard, and I'm also going to look at my network status. This is something I have where I'm measuring my upload and download speeds, and also looking at latency and jitter and trying to sort out that and make sure that my network stays and behaves itself. And so I'll show you how to build these dashboards here in just a few minutes. Let's go back to our agenda here and on to the next slide. So again, the use case examples. What are we doing? We're trying to extend Foglight with custom metrics that are unique to your particular environment. We're going to capture OS and or service-specific data that's not included in out-of-the-box monitoring. That service-specific data is going to be important. I'll talk a little bit about services before I start this, because services can be your friend. You can divide things up and show things, and also divide up dashboards and do some other things with services that I'll show you about. And this is going to be a foundation of how to really make Foglight your own and take it beyond just the basic out of the box things and monitor all the critical parts of your business that you need. So why do we do custom dashboards? Okay. You're looking for a big picture visibility, right? You want to give a dashboard you can show to your executives or to someone in a knock or someplace like that, where you get an overview of your whole organization and any key performance indicators you might have about what your organization looks like and why it's doing things. When I worked for a large bank, we had a situation where our CEO was in Hawaii, and he went to check his email, and the email server was down, and nobody had been paying attention to it, because this is back in the early days when email wasn't as critical as it is today. And so he started calling around, and we very quickly came up with, okay, we need to monitor the email server. So we did that. But those are the kinds of things you can do with Foglight and extend Foglight to make that happen. And I'll show you that in the dashboards. The other thing you want to do is make sure you can have your deep diagnostic insights. How do you drill down? You see a red light or a yellow light somewhere. You want to drill down and see what's going on and see where that is. And with custom dashboards, you have the ability to customize those drill downs and do whatever you want to do to drill right into where the problem is and find the exact problem you're looking for, and then go solve it, as opposed to having to spend a lot of time hunting for things and seeing it. You see an orange or a yellow light, you drill down and say, oh, that's what's causing that, and then you go fix it. Design goals for adding dashboards is new views for evolving services. Do some correlations. Look at a couple of things together that you are collecting data on different things, and then put them together. And you'll see that in my example again, where I've got network latency, ping status, and also jitter, and those two are correlated. You can see see what's going on there and make sure your network is capable of doing what it needs to do. And you also, as I've covered before, you want to do executive level summaries and reporting, so you can do things for your executives. When I was a DBA, one of the things I did is took a dashboard and made it into a report. And if we have time, I'll show you how to do that as well. Your consumption goals, you want to maybe make some dashboards available to operations centers, right? You don't want to have to give everybody a Foglight login and have them all go to Foglight. With custom dashboards, you can get a URL that you can then take and put into a SharePoint site or a separate URL, or just give somebody a URL and say, here, click on this URL, and you'll see all our services and see what's going on, and make sure that our IT department is keeping up with what needs to happen. So you can do that and have a URL that your executives can click and do things like that. Again, we'll talk a lot about services and why services are so important and why they're your friend, and then you want to drill down from top level KPIs into detailed performance. Let's talk a little more about design considerations. Again, you want to add views as your environment grows. You find something you're not monitoring, or gee, that really is part of a larger service. My databases really are part of a service, or my web servers are part of a service. And that program over there needs to be monitored. So we'll put that into the service. And when that program fails, the service will turn yellow or orange or red, and you can go drill down and see what's going on in that particular program. At the same time, you want to have high level summaries so that your executives aren't burdened by having to drill down and look at things. You want to just show them, okay, is my IDT department functional? Is my email up? And if my email's not up, why is it not up? And then you drill down and see what's going on. And again, you organize those dashboards that way and provide drill down navigation and focus on the metrics that are going to give you exact impact on your performance and availability. Focus on the things that are important. Isolate the things that are important and work on those. You recall in the last demo, I talked a little bit about IntelliProfile, which is beyond the scope of this demo, but we'll do some 201 series on IntelliProfile, where you can actually profile your data and say what's normal and what's not. We have one customer that's done that to a very large extent, and the only thing they see on their Foglight consoles normally is what's not normal, what's something that isn't behaving the way it did, 10 minutes ago or 20 minutes ago. And you can also customize that by time. So if you know that, at 6 in the morning, everybody's going to be trying to log in, so your web servers are going to be very busy. You can customize that and then say, okay, from 6 to 9 a.m. in the morning, my web servers are going to be very busy and they're going to taper off. You can put that into IntelliProfile and it'll tell you when people are using it and when they're not using it, and when things are abnormal, as opposed to, let Foglight do the work for you, and that way you don't have to scan a bunch of information to find out what's normal and what's abnormal. You also want to segregate data. Maybe you have situations where you have some offshore DBAs or some offshore people, and you want them monitoring only certain things. You show them only the information they need to get their jobs done, and not a bunch of extraneous information or things where they can say, oh, look, somebody else is having a bad day, or that's happening, or those kind of things. They don't need to know that. They can just, you want people to focus on things they're responsible for and things they have to deal with. And also segregate maybe your production versus non-production environments. Give your offshore DBAs a lot more access to your non-production environments. And then integrate Foglight using the API, which we're talking about and we've talked about before, but also web applications and reporting tools. You can do a lot with Foglight to get data into reporting tools. And so things you want to avoid, don't just use the existing Foglight UI. Yeah, it's real easy to add people to Foglight and let them see everything. But again, then they're seeing everything and they're clicking where they don't need to click, or going around and doing things they don't need to do. Same thing with overloading your dashboards. You have a dashboard that's incredibly busy, and we've got some of those in Foglight. I'll show you a couple of those. We got, lots of different things going on. You want to drill down. You want to see what's going on, where things are abnormal, where things are hurting. That's one of the reasons we have a heat map, and I'll show you that. And also make sure that you're focusing on the things that are important to your business. If you've got a SQL statement that's executing a million times, but it's executing perfectly and executing very quickly, not causing any wait states or any problems, who cares? Let it go. Find the things that are causing your users pain and experiencing difficulties and focus on those. And also publishing dashboards without considering the usability of those. You can actually build kiosks in Foglight. We had a couple of customers do that, where they have a kind of a stand-up kiosk where people can look and see what the availability of their whole system is. Well, that's great. One of the things you want to do there, of course, is make sure you don't make sure it's not going to crash, and make sure you monitor the kiosk so when it crashes, you can reset it. And let's get into a demonstration here, and we'll start on Dashboards 101. So let me jump to my Foglight screen. Now, this is, again, my network status dashboard. We'll build that in a minute, but I want to start first with services, okay, and why are services so important. Let's go to my services first. I've built this as my own services dashboard. You can see that, and it's got here's my databases, my house, which has got a bunch of things, my internet connections. I've got an irrigation system I monitor. I look at the weather. I look at Linux containers. I look at I've got a virtual server farm. I look at my virtual servers. I look at virtual machines, and I've got a bunch of cameras I want to look at. So that's my services. How do I build services? I've got my service operations console here, and this is that heat chart I was referring to right now. So I know that I've got something going on with hosts. My network is fine. My internet is fine. Home is fine. Databases are going to, I've got a host that might be in a little bit of trouble here. And if I click on that, I can see um, exactly what's happening with that host here. I've got one host, that's my MQTT server, and it's got excessive interrupts happening. So I might want to take a look at that and see what's going to happen there. But I do that by looking at tier definition. Okay, so I've got all my different service tiers here, and I can look at user tiers. Now, when you set that up, you've got we build a lot of it in for you. You can see that here, but I got 6 subgroups. Here, my web service. I don't have anything in there. All my models, again, I don't have anything in that one, but I've also got application level. I think I've got something in the yeah, I've got a bunch of things in the application level that I'm looking at to see what's going on, and that's how you detail your service and get that straightened out. So Service Builder is your friend. You want to start out with services and build those services. Okay, so I'm going to build this services dashboard you see here. So we'll start by clicking on the actions item here, and I'll build a new dashboard, create dashboard, and I'm going to use all data and call it my dashboard 2. That's fine. I'll set it to refresh every 300 seconds. You can set relevant roles if you want. I'm not going to do that here, but you could pull down this and set one of these roles to restrict access to your dashboard. You can also set allowed roles to restrict it even further. Related domains, related activities, and to help text. If you want to add some text in here, you can click some text, and you can also put up background images. Maybe you want to display a map or display a picture of your business or something of that nature. You can put a background image there on anything you want. I'll click next and go to single column layout and click finish. And I'm going to start with a view of services here and click on all services and go ahead and click table view and next and back to previous here. I'll select the view template and use that. Okay, there's view I've got there. Now this is just my database groups, but I don't want to use that one. I want to use all of them here. So we'll get all and finish. And there's all my services. You can see I've got a green light there, and that's going to show me all the services I've got. And this would be great for an executive dashboard, and I could add other things on here to build that if I wanted to. But we'll go to a little more general view here, and so we'll remove this dashboard and go to views again and services, and just open that up and services summary, drag that over in here like that. And there's my dashboard. Okay, now I've got everything in one place in one service, and I can go back to general and let's create I can add that to a view if I wanted to, or I can generate a report from that. I can add more data down at the bottom if I wanted to, or I can, again, add this to my standard view properties and link to this page. That gives me a URL that I can get to here. And this is my URL for this particular dashboard. So I'll select this URL and copy it, copy, and I'll bring up a new window here and paste that in that, go there. And okay, my connection's not private. Yeah, that's a little secured in my browser. But now, see, I've got my dashboard right there, so I can hand that URL to somebody, and they can see that and go just click on that URL and go right to the dashboard. And if I want to see a little larger, I can just expand the or contract these. And now I've got my dashboard here. And you see, I've got database groups, weather, internet, my irrigation, my up, and I've got something going on with hosts. So if I click on hosts here and see what I've got going on, it's my uh, Linux container. I'll click on this and see, and there's my error message for that particular Linux container that's giving me problems. If I click here, I can see, oh, okay, I've got CPU and memory and everything's fine. I've got excessive interrupts. Going to get all the histories on it. Just the standard alarm panels from Foglight. But again, I've drilled down, gone from my services at a high level right to whatever thing I need to look at there. Also, if I keep clicking to weather here, I can see that I don't have any alarms right now, but that's going on. If I want to see what makes up my network services, I've got cameras, internet, web servers, internet, internal network. So I've got a bunch of different things I can look at there and do that. Let's build another dashboard out of some data here. I'll go ahead and go back to my Actions tab and create another dashboard. And here I'm going to say Use All Data. This is my feed dashboard. Again, we'll refresh it every 300 seconds. And I'm going to do a single column layout. Go in here and go on all my agents, and I'll come down to, let's close that, and speed test. There's where I've got my network speeds. So I'll click on tables in speed test, and I've got my up and my down speed. So I'll take down and drag it over here into my view, and I'll select metrics, and I want to do a graph. So there's a graph of my download speed. Okay, so now I've got this nice graph of my download speed. Well, I want to put upload on there as well. I want to do the same thing there. So I'll put upload in here, and I'll drag it onto that. And now I've got my upload speed. So there I've got my two up and downs, and I can look at that. And you see the speed over here is pretty nice right now. It's doing what it should be doing. And this will refresh every 5 minutes so I can see it going forward. Once I've built this dashboard, and this is called my dashboard 3, remember that. Don't need to do anything with it other than come over here now, and I'll see my dashboard 3. So I bring up that dashboard, and it's subject to all the same things, so I can look at my, Foglight has done all this for me. It's built all this for me. So look at my network speed for the last 24 hours. There's my network speed for the last 24 hours. And you can do, 7 days, 10 days, whatever you want to do, however much data you've got. And of course, with a Foglight capability, also, it had a little slowness there. Let's zoom in on that and see what's going on. Okay, there's my speeds for that particular time. So once you've built your dashboard, you've got all the nice Foglight features built right into your dashboard and what you can do there to make those happen. So that's dashboards. Very quickly gone through that. There are lots of other things you can do with dashboards. Again, you can look at all the different data you've got available to you. You can do parameterized input, so you can select certain things if you want to. You put in a parameter so you only search for certain things and do that. We've also got some canned views. You saw that when I did the services dashboard there. And let's go back to general again. You can also look at the properties of the dashboard, change the properties any way you want. and we'll edit the basic properties. So there's the name of the dashboard, the auto refresh rate, and so on. Or you can go in here and actually change some of the captioning and again the titles, metrics. You've got change the name of the metrics. Options on metrics, lots of options. You can show averages, you can show minimum, maximum. Um, there's a whole bunch of things you can do with dashboards that are beyond the scope of this initial talk here, but will help you, again, make Foglight your own and make the dashboards your own. So that's the, again, dashboards 101. So let's go back to our slide presentation here and do a little bit of a wrap up. Some important tips on dashboard building. Stay focused. Dashboards should answer very specific questions. You don't want to have too much data on your dashboards. You remember the dashboard I built with network speed, it just had two items on it. The upload speed and the download speed, right? That's all you need. Look at that and see what's going on with your network. And services, again, I had my service operations console that had all the services and I could drill down and see those. But then I built that my services dashboard where I just had green, yellow, red, and alarms, and I could drill down into alarms. That way, an executive can look at that and say, "Oh, everything's green. Okay, I don't need to worry. Oh, something's wrong. Okay, here's the alarm for this particular problem," and you can drill right down and solve your problem rather than having to look through a whole bunch of extraneous data to get to that point. Simplicity, right? Keep it simple so that people are going to use these dashboards. Don't overload and overcrowd your dashboards with information. You're not going to break Foglight. Feel free to jump around and experiment. You saw me doing that a few times during a demo, and you can use different pieces and do different things if you want to. And treat your dashboards as living artifacts. They're living. You want to change them, update them regularly, make sure that they're doing what you want it to do. Ask your users, what more would you like to see on this dashboard? How would you like to do your drill down? You've got incredible flexibility over what you can drill down into and how your drill downs work once you get them done. And enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. You're delivering some tools that are helping your team and helping your customers and owners manage their business so that you can be more effective. And that's one way to make yourself more popular and also deliver what your customers need. Real quick to deliver. You see, it only took me a few minutes to deliver those dashboards. You can actually have a session with your customer. You sit down and say, okay, what data would you like to see? Well, here's the data. How do you want to see it? Do you want to see a stoplight? Do you want to see it in a bubble? Do you want to see a graph? You want to see stat graphs? And you can build those right on the fly and work with your customers to do that. Some resources and links. Here's some essential resources you've got. The Foglight homepage. All these webcasts are going to be available on demand. And of course, we have some upcoming webcasts as well where you can see what's coming in the future. My colleague Darren Millett's going to be having one in a few weeks on services and building out more services. And any questions? I'll stop here and take some questions. And we got some other folks coming online to help take questions as well. And again, don't miss what's next. Utility Agents Unleashed, that's what Darren is going to be talking about in November. That'll be a very fun session. And thank you all for attending, and hope to see you or talk to you on another session or individual call sometime soon. Thanks.